Hey everyone, it's Moonkin FTW back with another episode of the RCT3 Coaster Challenge, a challenge where I make a decent looking coaster for every single type of coaster in the game. And this time we're tackling the half pipe coaster, which I'm pretty sure is another coaster that I've never ever bothered to make. Well, ever. So yeah, it's actually quite simple in terms of design. I'm looking at a pre-made one just to make sure that the pacing and everything is right. And well, the name is very self-explanatory. It's basically a coaster in the shape of a half pipe. It goes back and forth, and the seats kind of spin around, if you will. And that's pretty much it. So in terms of track design, it's very simple. Not much going on there. And I'm going to have to basically focus a little bit more on the scenery to make this more interesting, because in terms of coaster design, well, this is all we can do. You know, you can't make turns, you can't make inversions, you can't make any sort of airtime hill, and then you'll go to that top hat or whatever you want to call it. It's just that. So I'm going to try and focus a little bit more on the surroundings. I'm not going to do anything super crazy because the footprint of the coaster is admittedly quite small, but I want this to be like a nice little charming package, if you will. So I'm already going to go ahead and let the guest ride it. So to kind of fill up the park already, if you will, I'm going to stick with my basic station design. It's been one that I've been making since 2008, so it goes back a very long time. And yeah, I like the way it looks. Now, in terms of color scheme, I'm actually going for a kind of beige brown track design, because if you look at kind of like indoor half pipes or indoor skate tracks, if you will, they all kind of use that beige brown wooden texture, if you will. So that's kind of cool. Fun little story, by the way, to this is a little bit close to my heart, because not until recently, like couple of years ago, I actually was quite active in skate parks with my mountain bike, where I would shred bowls and try to do just a few tricks with my mountain bike here and there. So that was really fun. And I also grew up playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, which is a great game. And I still, to this day, I still follow X Games when it comes to like BMX tricks and skateboard tricks. So this design is a little close to my heart. In terms of coaster type, it's not my favorite, because there's very limited options for this. But I'm just trying to make the most of it. So I'm going to use some custom scenery, including Moby Steel Jungle for the station design, or excuse me, the supports. By the way, if I still sound a little bit like I have a cold, I do. It's been quite a while and I still have it, so screw it. I'm just going to keep recording. So yeah, that's kind of the basic design. I got the beige track and the white supports. I'm going to add a little bit of foliage to make it a little bit more, to make it a bit more charming, like I said, to make sure that the surroundings aren't too barren, if you will. So yeah, it's looking to be a nice little ride. Also, I wanted to make maybe some sort of tunnel here, but I wasn't completely sold on this. So I kind of made these rings, which adds, I guess it's a little bit more interesting when you ride this ride. Now I'm going to add some fencing around it. And I'm going to use this because I want this to be kind of a pre-made design that I could potentially spam or put down in the future. So with this, I can kind of wall it off properly and then add just a little bit of foliage here and there to spice it up a little bit. So that's mostly it for the half-pipe coaster. Again, it's a simple build because you just can't do much with a half-pipe coaster. It's not going to be a giant roller coaster with tons of inversions. But it's a nice little design, small footprint, relatively cheap if it would be a real ride. But there is one final thing I'm going to adjust. As you can see here, the roller coaster where you sit, it hits the ceiling. So I'm going to have to raise this roof by one level, if you will. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just making sure to increase the height of the ceiling. So if you're riding this, you're not your head is not getting knocked. When you're riding, you don't get hit by your head. So that's pretty much it for the half-pipe coaster. It's a simple looking design. It looks quite cool though, and the half-pipe coaster, it really resembles the name quite well. So yeah, let's go ahead and ride this. Let's see what it's like. Okay, we're starting off, and it's not the most aggressive launch. It slowly builds up like a swinging ship or something like that, like a pirate ship. The seats do rotate around. That's kind of cool. And we're slowly but surely building up speed. Nice, here we go. Yeah, we're picking up speed now. And another time, I think 1 or 2 more times, and then it should reach its max speed. Yeah, I'm getting quite close to the end. Seats being swung around constantly. So this is a nice little roller coaster or a flat ride for like a smaller amusement park, or like a new project that that doesn't have the biggest budget, if you will. And it's already slowing down. So yeah, it's like I said, like a pirate ship, like a swinging ship. Slowly but surely going to make our way back to the station, and that's it. Honestly, if I would ride this in real life, it wouldn't be my favorite. I'm really not a fan of anything that where the seats spin around, like a spinning wild mouse or something like this. But yeah, that pretty much concludes the half-pipe coaster. Nothing fancy, but I do like the way it looks. It's simple but effective. I'm gonna go ahead here and get a nice little view here of the half-pipe coaster as I come down. Yeah, that looks quite nice. I imagine if you're you're a guest and you're walking through the park and you see this thing and then you see it operating and swinging back and forth, you might be like, oh, that does look kind of cool, like this. So yeah, that's the half-pipe coaster. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with another challenge. But until then, have yourself a wonderful day.